Okay, so this video is looking at line graphs, or a line graph, and how to interpret that, which is what you did in your practice test. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to look at your line graph and you want to work out what it is you're looking at. So you can see by the title that it's the air temperature in April. You can see from your key that red is 2010, blue is 2011. You can see down here is the dates, date in April, the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd and the 29th. And you can see that on your y-axis is the temperature, so that's how hot it was on that specific day. Now the first question asks, what was the air temperature on April 8th in 2010? So what you have to do is you have to find, you know that 2010 is the red line, and the question is asking what was the air temperature on April the 8th in 2010. So you find the 8th and you find where your red line is. You then move across to your y-axis, which tells you how hot it was on that day. So that's how you work out your answer for that one. Number 2 asks what was the air temperature on April the 1st in 2011. Now you know that 2011 is the blue line and you're looking for April 1st. So you find April 1st, you find your blue line, and you move over to see how hot it is. That's how you work out your answer. Question 3 asks, did the temperature increase or decrease between April 15 and April 22nd in 2010? So we find April 15 and we find April 22nd and we find our blue line, our red line, sorry, which we know is 2010. And we see from here, from the 15th to the 22nd, did the temperature increase or decrease? So we find our line from the 15th and we follow it to the 22nd. Now you look at your temperatures from those 2 points and you decide, did that increase or decrease? And you make your answer from there. Question 4 asks, was the temperature higher on April 29th, 2010 or April 15th in 2011? So this is asking you to look at 2 things. You need to find April 29th in 2010 and April 15th in 2011. So doing 2010 first, we find April 29, 2010, which we know is our red. So 29, 2010, that's how hot it was. And then it was asking us April 15, 2011. So we find April 15, we find 2011, we see how hot it is, and we make our answer of what is hotter between those 2 dates. Question 5 asks, what date in April was the highest temperature for the year 2010? So we find our 2010 line, we follow it, and we decide which day was the hottest. At which point did that line reach its highest? We then follow it down and we can see which day it is. Now question 6 asks, are there any trends or patterns? So what you have to do is you have to have a good look at your graph and you have to work out if there's any information that is standing out from that graph. What is it that graph is telling you? What are the trends and patterns? What seems to be occurring in that graph? Or what information is, I guess, really sticking out to you? From this graph, you might see that the 2 lines work in different order, as if they're almost mirroring each other. Now that might be a trend that you would want to speak about. So it's important when asked a question about what trend is happening that you really take the time to look at your graph and work out what it is that you're actually looking at. So that's how you interpret a line graph.